Hey, what do you say? Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm just going to do a little video on video poker training software based on what the strategies you're supposed to play. And I don't always play the same strategies, the right strategies by many people's accounts, even the softwares. I don't always go with the top option available. Personally, to me, video poker is about making your own decisions and going with it. Uh, Sometimes the top option, in my opinion, is not the best option. Now, we're going to start playing right here. We are going to play the dollar denomination, Deuces Wild bonus. That's about a nine. Let's see, what is this? This is 98.8% payback, which is what I typically play, and that's where you get that 65 credit straight flush. So let's go first hand. Okay, this is a pretty easy hand, and the software agrees with what I would typically do is go for the straight flush here rather than the 3/8. So we'll do that. We missed the hand, but as you see, the software tells you what to hold. Here, now this is for a straight flush. As you see, the software typically is saying to hold the 5 and the 7 of spades with the deuce for the straight flush. This is where I actually differ in the way I play video poker. I don't go for the straight flush here. I typically just hold the deuce. Now, basically, the odd things is it's 4.98, which is the top option, is to go for the straight flush. Deuce is not a lot less than that at 4.799. But let's go for what they say and go for the straight flush. Now, my thinking behind just holding the deuce is the top hand you're getting with a straight flush is 65 credits. I've hit 4 deuces many times just holding 1 deuce. I'm a guy that likes big payouts. So I definitely understand going for a straight flush with 4 when you have 4 cards already to that straight flush. But I'm not crazy about the 3 cards. Anyways, that's my opinion. That's what I typically do. You guys could obviously play the way you want. Here, King 10, I agree. This is the top hand available. That or you hold nothing. I think there's nothing wrong with holding nothing here either. I've done that too. A lot of times that's just basically, for me, based on whether or not this royal flush progressive's high or not. If it's high and closer to do whole hit, I'll hold those two. A lot of times I play deuces wild on progressive machines, so whether or not there's a royal here is what I do. But as you see here, very close in odds as to what to play. So software says hold. We hold, get 3 kings. Let's keep going. All right, here's a straight flush. You got to take it. I tend to agree. You got to take a straight flush. No question there. 65. All right, here you got the 2 deuces and the 6-9 straight flush. Now this one kind of actually surprised me because I typically hold for the straight flush, but I do so non-enthusiastically, where I'm like, man, you got to hold the straight flush here. But I actually agree with the software. I would much rather just go for the 4 deuces. As you see, the odds are within a fraction of each other, the 5.87 or the 5.85. As you see here, I think you could go either way and it would be a smart decision. So we're going to go deuces here. I totally agreed with that. I'm actually glad I did this because that made a lot of sense to me. Okay, obviously here you're going to go a wild royal, right? We both agree, no question here. Easy hand, easy decision. All right, so next hand. Now, again, this is where I could potentially disagree with the software. if I'm going for a royal and a progressive, I prefer to hold the jack and the king. But there actually is a very big strategy difference there. So straight flush it is. Three to the straight flush. You could also get a flush here, which is why it has better odds. And you go there. Boom. Now, if the progressive's high, I'm definitely going royal there. But well, that is what it is. Okay, here again, you got 2 to the royal or 3 to the straight flush. And we're going to go straight flush here. Very similar odds. It's within a fraction of each other. Again, if it's a high progressive royal, I'll go for the royal here. But I got no problem doing this if it's not. But I tend to go for the royal because that's a little bit of the gambler in me. Here, straight flush draw. I agree. 3 hearts. Let's do it. No question there. Here, just the deuce. I 100% agree with the software. I'm going deuces. All right. So here, straight flush draw. I totally agree. Easy decision. As you see, the software is analyzing each hand. All right. Now this, I'm actually happy to see this because I always feel obligated to go for the straight flush here, but I'd much rather go for the bigger hand. The 2 deuces and the ace, the software tells you that is true as well. So let's go for it, guys. And guys, what would you do here? What would you do here? Would you go for the straight flush or the 2 deuces and the ace? I love this hand. And you get the full house. So great hand. I agree with the software. I'm glad I checked that one. Here you're going to go king, queen, not much of a decision here. Or you can hold nothing. Again, I got no problem with you people holding nothing here. As you see, it's not much of a difference. But I tend to go 2 to the royal here. This is particularly how I would play it. All right, so straight flush draw, even though we got the 3 5s. I agree, but you can go the 3 5s as well and take the win. Not a big difference here in the odds. And so I honestly don't care which way people would go there. Get the flush. All right, straight flush draw. I think that's an easy one. Let's go. Now, straight flush draw again for the straight flush. Easy decision. All right, here 2 to the royal or hold nothing. I have no problem with either. Typically, I hold 2 to the royal because I'm always trying to get the royal. Again, 2 to the royal. Same difference. Same type of hand. Okay. Here you go wild royal. That's what I would play. You can go 8-10 straight flush. The odds aren't that much worse. But for me, I go for the higher jackpot. You could even go for the flush. It's giving you decent odds on all of them. But again, I agree with the software. I'm going 10, ace, and deuce. So we got 4 to the straight flush again, and I agree. That's how I would play it. Though you could take the 10s. There are times where I just take the hit, but I think I agree with the software overall. And that 10 came up. All right. Now again, the software is going with what I prefer to play. I actually am kind of surprised because I thought that the software on this would have me go for the straight flush here, but I'm in complete agreement. Now I know if you get like some of the machines I play have 50 credits for a straight flush as well. So, but I'm actually surprised. I'm a complete 100% agreement with this, even though you see the odds are very close, so they're not much of a difference if you decide you don't want it. All right, let's go King Jack. King Jack, again, it's a royal draw or you hold nothing. I'm all good with the royal draw. I like getting royals. Why not? The last royal I hit, I think I held 2. So anyways, bottom line, here's straight flush draw. I think that's an easy decision. I agree. Let's go. Boom. Here, just the deuce. Here, he's not, for some reason here, they're not holding for the straight flush. I know on one of these prior, very similar hand, they held 3 for the straight flush. So I'm not really sure why, but I agree on the deuce. I'm going there. All right. Straight flush, agreed. Ooh. Okay, straight flush, you gotta take that. It's not worth it. I agree with that, that's an easy decision. Here, they're going straight flush again. You could hold the 7s, but the straight flush is a clear winner. So let's go. I actually don't get that hand a lot, where it's 4 to the straight flush and then 3 of a kind at the same time. I typically don't get that hand. Here they're saying hold the straight. With 1 deuce, I don't mind holding straight, and I often do because, let's be real, I like another chance at getting another deal with multiple deuces. So I got no problem with that. Here, they're saying not hold the ace queen and just hold the redraw. Now, typically, I would probably hold the ace queen. The odd difference is very small, as you see here. I see why they're doing that. If this was ace was a king, they would probably have you hold these 2 because you could get a straight flush at that point too. But here they're separated, so it's saying redraw. Okay, I'm good with that actually. Okay, here obviously straight flush draw for the 2 deuces. Now, isn't this funny? On this particular hand, they're telling you to hold for the straight flush, not the 2 deuces. Now you notice prior to that, it didn't have when we have 4 to the straight flush with 2 deuces, it did not have us hold for the straight flush. So I'm kind of not exactly sure why. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Personally, me, I think either way is fine. I would prefer to go 4 deuces there, but we'll go with the software here. So deuce here, even though you got 4 to the flush, I agree. Deuce, boom. Here, straight flush draw, 2 to the royal. This is something I always see. A lot of times I go royal if it's a high progressive, but okay, I'm good with it. Alrighty. So here's a straight draw, but wild royal flush draw, so we're definitely going wild royal. We agree with the software, easy decision. You know, I'm really looking for those hands where it's like, oh, what do you do here? Here it's saying ace queen again. We already dealt with that. Let's redeal. I'm in agreement. Let's do it. I will adjust my strategy for that. Here we got a straight flush dealt to us. You have to take 65 credits. I agree with that. Here, hold nothing. Ace 10 is separated. So I'm okay with that. Let's do it. Here, 2 deuces again. Now it's having us go for straight flush again. Hold the straight for the straight flush. So the odds are very close though. Look at that, 15.85 to 15.84, which with that 8 would be pretty much the same odds. So I think you could go either way here. That's what I'm really realizing. I don't really like going for the straight flush because it's so hard just to get 2 deuces, and it's really hard to get 4 deuces, and that's your best chance when you have that. King queen here. Again, they're next to each other, so it has us going for it. All right, so here, just the deuce, I'm in agreement. And here, we got delta flush. Take the flush, I agree, it's 3 to 1 odds. Only 1 deuce there, let's go. Boom, baby. Okay, here it's having us take the straight flush here, draw here. So sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. They just hold the deuce. I prefer to hold the deuce, not gonna lie. Sometimes I don't do. Or I prefer to hold the deuce and the ace. But the best odds is the straight flush, so we'll go there. Though I think if you go either way, I don't really think it's that bad of a decision. Here, hold nothing. Now that's pretty interesting because King, Queen, in some hands it has us hold it with different suits, and this suit it doesn't. Maybe that's because the seven's in there. So there's one less. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why they don't. This time they're telling us not to hold anything. Again, I think if I'm playing a progressive, which I normally do, it would depend on what the royal flush is. But let's hold nothing here. Okay, that's good. Ace 3-5, straight flush. Again, we dealt with that situation again. Oh, 4 to the wild royal. That's an easy one. We'll keep going. All right. All right, I'll go with that. Let's keep going, guys. Straight flush here. That's an easy decision. Actually, wild here. I agree with that. Here, hold nothing. I will admit I do hold those ace queens, but I want to do it right. Let's do it right. Now, my philosophy on rules is you don't have to follow them at all times. Now, here it's definitely telling you to hold a straight flush. Sometimes it doesn't. You got me on that, but we'll go with it. It's close odds. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at you if you didn't. Here, straight flush. I agree with this one. 4 to a straight flush. Let's go. 4 to straight flush again. Easy decision. Let's go. Ace 3-5. Boom. Let's go. All right. Here, just hold the deuce. I agree 100%. You could go for the flush. The difference in odds is not that bad. 4.82 to 4.78, as you see up here. I'm good with that. Let's just go 2. That's what I would do. Here, straight flush. It keeps giving us the same scenario, which I usually don't get. 10 straight flush there. I agree with that. Okay, wild royal, or do you take the flush? It's telling us wild royal. I agree. I'm going wild royal here. King, queen. Here it has us take king, queen rather than the redeal. Remember the last time we had the 7 of clubs in there, and it was the opposite way around. So I guess if there's only 2 clubs, it says has you hold them, which I'm good with. I like to hold those anyways. Again, ace king, it doesn't want us to hold. Typically, I would hold here. I would hold, but we'll go with the software. We'll go with the percentages. You know, when the odds are that close, I think you just do what you want, do what you feel, go with your gut a little bit. If the odds are way off, then maybe you should rethink it. But here's going straight flush again. So I don't always understand the difference there. Now, see, I would have rather seen if we could have got that 4th deuce. To be honest with you, maybe you would have. Wild royal, I agree. Now you could go. Well, that's not a straight flush, so yes, just the deuce. That's an easy decision. Though the odds are nothing wrong with going for the flush here. You hold the flush, you take the flush. I agree. You could go straight flush here, but I'll take 3 to 1 in the bag. 4-5-3 straight flush. Let's go. And guys, I was thinking of doing some of the live streams, just hanging out, going over strategies like this. I got a lot of different games we could test out and talk about. So let me know if that's something you guys want to would be interested in. Here, they're saying hold the hole straight. I got no problem with that, actually. Hold the hole straight. I do that all the time with 1 deuce. 1 deuce ain't crazy. Here you got a straight flush. You got to take 65 credits. No disagreement there. Unless there was a 3rd deuce. That's the only way I would consider not. Okay, wild royal draw. Agree with that. All right. So, deuces here. Or hearts there. Good. 3, 4, 5. Straight flush draw. I agree. I'm really looking for a different. Okay, here's an interesting one. Now, one of you guys pointed this out to me recently. Is I was going King Ace here, and the right draw is, as you see here, is the Queen 10. That one actually surprises me because you skip. There's no Jack there, and I would think the King Ace would be a better, but no, King Queen 10. Or the redraw, just the redraw is even better than the King Ace. So that, I will say that did surprise me, but I'm good with it. That makes sense. Again, the odds are close, so I don't think it's the end of the world if you do it either way. But here you take the flush, no question. All right. So anyways, guys, this is just a little test. See if you guys, see how this video does. See if you guys like these training sessions. I don't mind doing them. I think it'd be cool to do in a live stream. I probably will put a live stream up shortly in the recent weeks or days just to see how that works. You know, I think this is good for strengthening all our games, just talking about hands, what we can do and whatnot. So bottom line is, I think this could be valuable to everybody. Here's wild draw, I agree. So most of these hands I agree with. Now here, straight flush draw, again, got to take it, I guess. But to see the difference in odds just holding the deuces, it's so small that I'm actually just considering just holding deuces going forward. I really am. I'm really thinking of just holding the deuces going forward on those, because the odds are not much different. Now here they're a little bit more different than the previous hand. See here, there's a whole over a point difference. So we'll go with it. But anyways, bottom line, guys, hope you enjoyed this little practice session. I could do more of these for sure. If you guys like, let me know. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.